Hello everyone and welcome back to Chill English Channel. We're really happy you're here learning English with us today.
Hi everyone! Whether you're relaxing at home, walking somewhere, or just taking a short break, we're glad you're spending a little time with us.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Jake.
And today we have a very fun and very relatable topic.
Yes, today we're talking about your weekend plans.
This is one of the most common topics in everyday conversations.
People ask this question all the time, especially at the end of the week.
Exactly. You often hear things like, "What are you doing this weekend?"
Or, do you have any plans for the weekend?
It's a simple question, but it can start a really nice and natural conversation.
And it's also a great way to connect with people and learn more about them.
Okay, Jake, let's start with you.
I knew this was coming.
Of course. What are you doing this weekend?
Honestly, I don't have any big plans.
No plans at all?
Not really. I think I just want to relax this weekend.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, this week was quite busy, so I feel a bit tired.
I understand that.
So maybe I'll stay at home, watch a movie, and just take it easy.
That sounds like a perfect relaxing weekend.
Yes, sometimes simple plans are the best.
I agree. Not every weekend needs to be exciting or busy.
What about you, Sophia? Do you have any plans?
Yes, I do actually.
Oh, really? That sounds more interesting than my weekend.
I don't know about that. Your plan sounds pretty good too.
Okay, tell me your plans.
On Saturday, I'm planning to meet a friend.
That's always nice.
Yes, we haven't seen each other for a while.
So what are you going to do together?
We're thinking about going to a cafe and maybe walking around the city.
That sounds very relaxing.
Yes, I like simple weekends like that.
Me too, actually. And what about Sunday?
On Sunday, I think I'll stay at home.
So a quiet day.
Yes, I want to rest and prepare for the next week.
That's a good idea.
I might watch something, read a little, or just relax.
That sounds very balanced.
I try to keep a balance between going out and staying in.
That's smart. If you go out too much, you feel tired.
And if you stay home all the time, you might feel bored.
Exactly. I've had weekends where I did nothing, and then I thought, why didn't I go outside?
Yes, I know that feeling. I think everyone has different ideas about a perfect weekend.
Definitely.
Some people love going out and being busy.
Like going shopping, meeting friends, or going to events.
Yes, they enjoy being active and social.
And other people prefer quiet weekends.
Staying at home, watching movies, or just relaxing.
I think both are good.
It really depends on your personality and your mood.
Sometimes your week also affects your weekend.
That's true.
If you have a stressful week, you just want to rest.
But if your week is calm, you might want to do something fun.
Exactly.
What do you usually do on weekends, Jake?
It really depends.
Give me some examples.
Sometimes I go out with friends.
What do you usually do together?
We might go to a restaurant, watch a movie, or just walk around.
That sounds nice.
Yes, it's simple but fun. And sometimes I just stay at home.
What do you do at home?
I watch movies, play games, or just relax.
That sounds very comfortable.
It is. I enjoy those quiet moments.
I think everyone needs that sometimes.
Do you ever make detailed weekend plans?
Not always.
So you prefer flexible plans?
Yes, I don't like planning everything.
I understand that.
Sometimes it's nice to decide things at the last minute.
It feels more relaxed and natural.
Exactly.
But some people like to plan everything.
Yes, they have a full schedule.
For example, they might say, on Saturday morning, I'll go shopping. Then I'll meet a friend. Then I'll go to the gym.
That sounds very organized.
It does, but it can also feel stressful.
I agree. I prefer a more relaxed weekend.
Another interesting thing is how people talk about their plans.
Yes, sometimes people are not sure about their plans.
So they use words like maybe or I think.
For example, maybe I'll go out.
Or I think I'll stay home.
These expressions sound very natural in English.
Let's go back to your weekend.
Okay.
You said you want to relax.
Yes.
Do you think you'll go out at all?
Maybe.
That doesn't sound very sure.
I know, maybe I'll go for a short walk.
That's a good idea.
Or I might meet a friend if they're free.
So your plan is flexible.
Exactly.
I think flexible plans are very common.
Yes, especially on weekends.
People don't always want a strict schedule.
They just want to enjoy their time.
And do what feels good in the moment.
That's what weekends are for.
And sometimes the weather also changes your plans.
Oh yes, that's very true.
If it's sunny, people want to go outside.
But if it's raining, they prefer to stay inside.
Exactly.
So plans can change very easily.
This is why talking about weekend plans is so natural.
Yes, because plans are not always fixed.
And people often talk about possibilities.
Like, I might do this, or I'm thinking about doing that.
These small details make conversations more real and interesting.
And more relaxed, too.
And when you ask someone about their weekend, you're not just asking about plans.
You're also starting a friendly conversation.
Exactly.
So it's a very useful topic to practice.
And there are many different ways to answer.
Simple, detailed, certain, or not certain.
It all depends on your situation.
And how you want to express it.
Now let's look a bit closer at how people naturally talk about their weekend plans.
Yes, because sometimes learners know the words, but they are not sure how to use them in real conversations.
For example, when you're not 100% sure about your plans, you don't speak in a very strong way.
You use softer expressions.
Like, I think, maybe, or I might.
These words are very common and very useful.
Yes, and that's why they use soft and flexible language.
For example, instead of saying, I will go out, they might say, I might go out.
Or, I'm thinking about going out.
These small changes make your English sound more natural.
Let's try a few examples together.
Okay.
If you are not sure, you can say, I think I'll stay home this weekend.
Or, maybe I'll meet some friends.
You can also combine ideas.
Like, I might stay home or I might go out if I feel like it.
That sounds very natural.
Now let's go back to your weekend, Sophia.
Okay.
You said you're meeting a friend on Saturday.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yes, I am. I haven't seen my friend in a long time.
That always makes it more special.
Exactly. We have a lot to talk about.
Do you usually plan your weekends in advance?
Not really.
So you prefer spontaneous plans?
Yes, I like to keep things simple.
I think that makes weekends less stressful.
I agree.
I used to plan everything before.
Really?
Yes, I would write a list of things to do.
That sounds very organized.
It was, but sometimes it felt like work.
I can imagine that.
Now I try to relax more and not plan too much.
That's a good change.
Yes, I enjoy my weekends more now.
Another thing people often talk about is time.
What do you mean?
For example, people say on Saturday morning or in the evening.
Oh, yes, that helps make your plans clearer.
For example, on Saturday morning, I'll go for a walk.
And in the evening, I might watch a movie.
This makes your answer more detailed.
Let me try one.
Go ahead.
On Saturday afternoon, I think I'll relax at home.
Good.
And in the evening, I might order some food and watch a movie.
That sounds very natural.
And very comfortable.
Now let's talk about common weekend activities.
Yes, this is very useful.
People often say, go out, stay in, hang out with friends.
Hang out is very common.
Yes, it means spending time in a relaxed way.
For example, I'm going to hang out with my friends.
Another common phrase is take it easy.
I like that one.
It means to relax and not do anything stressful.
For example, this weekend, I just want to take it easy.
You can also say catch up with someone. That means talking to someone you haven't seen in a while.
For example, I'm meeting a friend to catch up.
Let's use these in a natural answer.
Okay.
This weekend, I'm going to take it easy.
Good start.
I might stay in on Saturday and watch a movie.
Nice.
And on Sunday, I'll hang out with a friend and catch up.
That sounds very natural. Now let's talk about asking questions.
Yes, because conversation is not only about answering.
It's also about asking.
A very common question is, what are you doing this weekend?
You can also say, "Do you have any plans for the weekend?"
Or more casual, any plans this weekend?
That sounds very natural in conversation.
And after someone answers, you can ask more questions.
For example, "Oh, that sounds nice. Where are you going?"
Or, who are you going with?
Or even, "What time are you going?"
These follow-up questions keep the conversation going.
Yes, and they make the conversation more interesting.
Let's do a short example.
Okay,
What are you doing this weekend?
I think I'll meet a friend.
Oh, nice. Where are you going?
Maybe to a cafe.
That sounds good.
See? Very simple, but very natural.
Yes, and you don't need difficult words.
Another important thing is tone.
What do you mean?
Weekend conversations are usually relaxed and friendly.
So your language should also be relaxed.
Exactly.
You don't need to sound formal.
You can be simple and natural.
I think that's something learners sometimes forget.
Yes, they try to sound too perfect.
But real conversations are not perfect.
They are simple and natural.
Let's go back to your plans again.
Again?
Yes, one more time.
Okay.
Can you describe your weekend in a more detailed way?
Sure.
Take your time.
On Saturday morning, I think I'll relax at home.
Good.
On the afternoon, I'm meeting a friend.
Nice.
We might go to a cafe and walk around the city.
Very natural.
And on Sunday, I'll stay home and take it easy.
That's a great answer.
Thank you.
It sounds clear, relaxed, and natural.
And you didn't use any difficult words.
Exactly. This is the key to speaking English well. Simple ideas, clearly expressed.
Now let's look at how we can make answers even more interesting.
Yes, by adding small details.
For example, feelings.
Or reasons.
Instead of saying, "I'll stay home," you can say,
I'll stay home because I feel tired.
or instead of saying, "I'll go out," you can say,
I'll go out because I want to relax and have fun.
these small details make a big difference.
They make your English sound more natural and personal.
And they also make the conversation more interesting, because now you are sharing more about yourself.
And that's what real conversations are about.
So now we've talked about how to describe your weekend plans clearly and naturally. Yes, and we've also seen how small details can make your answers more interesting.
Exactly. Even simple sentences can sound great if you add a little more information.
For example, instead of just saying, "I'm staying home," you can say,
I'm staying home because I had a busy week and I want to relax.
that already sounds more natural and more personal.
Let's try another one.
Okay.
Instead of saying, I'm going out, you can say,
I'm going out with some friends because I want to have fun and take a break.
see? Same idea, but much better.
I think one of the best things about talking about weekend plans is that it's very real.
Yes, you can use it in your life every single week.
You don't need to imagine anything. You just talk about your real plans.
And even if your plans are simple, that's okay.
Actually, simple plans are perfect for practice.
Because you can focus on speaking clearly, not on using difficult words.
Let's do one more example together.
Okay,
This weekend, I think I'll take it easy.
good start.
On Saturday, I might stay at home and watch a movie.
Nice.
And on Sunday, I'll probably meet a friend and have coffee.
That sounds like a great weekend.
And a great answer.
I think one important thing is not to worry too much.
Yes, that's very important.
Many learners think they need perfect grammar.
But in real conversations, people are relaxed.
They make small mistakes, and that's okay.
The most important thing is communication.
Yes, expressing your ideas clearly, even if your sentences are simple.
And weekend plans are a great topic for that.
Because it's easy, natural, and useful.
Practice time.
Now it's your turn.
If you can, try to answer these questions out loud.
First question. What are you doing this weekend?
You can start with, "This weekend, I think I'll..."
Second question. Do you have any plans for Saturday?
Try to add a small detail.
Third question. What do you usually do on weekends?
You can talk about your habits.
And remember, you can use words like maybe, I think, I might, and probably.
These words make your English sound more natural,
You can also use time.
like in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening.
And don't forget to add reasons.
For example, because I feel tired, or because I want to relax.
Try to speak slowly and clearly.
And don't worry about being perfect.
Final thoughts.
You know, Jake, I think weekend conversations are actually very important.
I agree.
They're simple, but they help people connect.
Yes, they're friendly and easy.
And they're a great way to practice English in real life.
Also, I think talking about weekends makes people feel relaxed.
That's true.
It's not a stressful topic, it's something enjoyable.
And that makes learning more fun.
Exactly. Recap. Let's quickly review what we talked about today.
We talked about how to speak about your weekend plans in English.
We practiced simple and natural ways to answer questions.
We learned how to use flexible language like maybe, I think, I might, and probably.
We saw how to add details, time, and reasons.
Most importantly, we focused on speaking naturally,
Not perfectly.
engagement, and closing. Now we'd love to hear from you.
What are you doing this weekend?
Try to write your answer in the comments.
Try to use the patterns we practiced today.
For example, this weekend, I think I'll...
Or, I might.
Reading your answers is a great way to practice.
And we really enjoy seeing what you write.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like the video.
And subscribe to Chill English channel.
You can also share this with a friend who is learning English.
Let's keep learning together.
Keep practicing a little every day.
And don't forget to enjoy your weekend.
See you next time.
Goodbye, everyone.